being sick? It is because there is death in the pot. In God's Pharmacy today, I'm going to be talking about death in the pot, because we find that death is 3/5 what we are eating. The typical American diet today is high in processed meats, high in actual fried foods, high in sugary foods, high in lots of sugary drinks, and we have also high fat foods, which will go along with our French fries. Also, we find that we have a lot of refined foods in our diet, such as this, which are contributing factors to the top leading conditions that we're suffering with today. Heart disease is the #1 killer. Then you have cancer, strokes, and diabetes is number 6 on the list. So we want to see how these things are causing these kinds of conditions that we're suffering with, that's going to make us crabby, and also we're going to say, oh, I'm sick and tired of being sick. Healthy choices. When we look at the typical Western diet, we saw that it was high in processed fats. We saw that it was high in sugar. We also saw that it was refined starches and sugars. So today, we want to look at the healthier choices that are available to help us to eliminate heart disease, cancer, diabetes. And with those choices, I want to share with you one choice. When we look at that, we should have at least 5 servings of fruits and vegetables in our diet. Why? Because fruits are very high in your vitamins. For instance, when we think of a diabetic, one of the very best foods for a diabetic is to have green apples. Green Granny Smith apples. These apples are tardy, and so they're not real sweet. So they are high in fiber, high in potassium. Also, when we think of potassium, we think of potatoes. And potatoes we need to have with the skins on, so we have that fiber, so it slows down the sugar from going into the bloodstream very quickly. And then when we think of our minerals, what do we need when we think of vegetables? We need a lot of green leafy vegetables. Why? They are high in iron, they are high in calcium, and they are high in iodine as well. So you want to include the romaine lettuce, spinach, have some cabbage. Also have some crucifix vegetables in your diet as well, which eliminates cancer or help with eliminating cancer. And that is cauliflower, broccoli. These are foods that we want to have in our meal planning every day if we possibly can. And then when it comes to our starches, you want to always have whole grain starches. Why? It has fiber. What's the purpose of fiber? To help to regulate our blood sugar so it doesn't go up and down so fast. So brown rice instead of white rice. And then what about our protein? You know, we have been told that by the CDC that a diet high in plant-based foods will help us to be able to get the what we call phytochemicals, phytonutrients that our body needs, and eliminate a lot of the problems that we're having with a lot of our animal products today. So I would encourage you, for protein, legumes, and nuts in your diet. They're telling us that we need to have several servings of nuts. And when we think of nuts like your walnuts, almonds are very high and more preferable in the meal planning. So these are the things that we would like to have. And when we look at also fat, I have an avocado somewhere along the way here. Let's see if we can get it. We need to be able to have fat, natural fat in the diet, which can come from avocados. It can come from your grains. It can come from your seeds. It can come from your legumes. It's not a lot of fat, so we want to try to limit the amount of what we call free fat in our meal planning. And then we want to choose foods when we deal with the number one cause of death here, and that is what we call high blood pressure, hypertension. We're getting too much sodium in the diet. So we want to eliminate or limit the amount of sodium. And you know, one of the ways of getting natural sodium is celery in the diet. So these are food choices that we recommend in the God's Pharmacy that will help us to have what we call healthy choices. And you notice I put some red there because in our meal plan we should try to have color. Reds, yellows, green, orange, all of those. But when we think of this red tomato, it is very good for what we call cancer conditions, especially prostate, and it has a phytochemical or nutrient called lycopene, and that is very, very good to help in our immune system, to help us to boost our immune. So when we look at our food choices, we want to eliminate death in the pot. So choose healthy from what you have available today.